got a lot to cover. So what I'm going to do is I will simply go on explaining whatever we're going to do today, or rather, whatever I need to cover in next 30 minutes. So if you have any questions, write them down. You don't need to note anything, as in whatever is happening on the screen. I will be able to share the PPT, or the whole video is going to get recorded, and I'm going to share that on our YouTube channel. So, if you have to refer to it later on, it is going to be available. So don't make any notes here. However, if you have any questions, I'll say hold those questions, write them down. Don't keep it in your head, write them down. Then you will be able to pay attention properly. And then later on, I'll give you a chance to ask me questions. Okay. In case if we can't cover everything today, don't worry. We'll resume this whole thing next Saturday. Okay. And in fact, the next two sessions are going to be very exciting sessions. I'm going to give you tools that can help you score anywhere from 70% to 95, 100%, depending on how much you can use them and how you can use them. Amazing tools I've been working on. So let's get started. Today's topic is about how to improve memory for studying, and this is part two. Part one, if you have missed, it's there on YouTube. I'll share that link in my group, so it will be available for you. So this session is about tools that you can use, and these are basically mnemonics. You must have used it in one or the other way, and so that's one tool. And second tool is graphic organizer. Okay, how you make notes is also very important. It's basically, if you make it graphical, it helps your memory to remember. And then there are two parts to it. There are different set, lot of tools, lot of ways you can make notes. And there's another way where, which is called mind map, a very unique way of representing knowledge. We'll see that. Let's get started. Okay. Let's understand how we remember things. Okay. So anything that is emotional, as in if it touches your heart, okay, if you like it, if you find it outstanding, surprises you, scares you, anything that shocks you, okay, that you will remember. Yeah, and we are going to use this principle in understanding how we can make mnemonics so that you can remember things. Okay. Next is anything that's new, you will typically remember. Anything that's different, new as in something that you have come across for the first time, as well as something different. Okay, anything that is different, you will typically remember. Yeah. Next is how you repeat things, and this is what we talked about in our last sessions. How you will be able to repeat things. Okay. Nevertheless, in our next to next session, we are going to talk about flashcards, and that is going to use all these principles in terms of practice, review, and recall. Okay, that will definitely give you 100% if you can. Right. So next will be associate. If you can relate something, and this is what we are going to use in mnemonics, if you can relate multiple things together, okay, anything what you want to remember, if it has more association in your brain, yeah, like one of the technique we discussed earlier was study the same topic at different places. What happens is your brain associates those different environment with the same topic, and that's why you are able to remember. Okay, so depending on the surrounding and depending on the senses input that you receive, you remember things better. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about today: mnemonics, graphic organizer, and mind map. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you 10 words. Pay attention, and you need to remember them in the same order. Okay. Here we go. I'm not going to repeat it. So The words are elephant, knife, tree, sand, Nikhil, wave, Pluto, green light, cake, twitter.com. How many of you will be able to remember all these words in the same order what I've told you? Now, I'm just taking this example right now so that you it's a constraint of time, but you can extend this to 50 words, 100 words, whatever you want. They are completely unrelated words. So, how many of you will be able to remember all the words in the same order that I've told you? Anyone? You can raise your hand if you can. So I think not, but let's do one thing. Okay. So for a moment, just I'm going to, oh, someone raised hand. So you are able to remember? Okay. So what's your name? Because I can see your, okay, I think there's something in the chat. Okay, Sakshi, okay, excellent. Yeah, but let me do one thing, I mean, if this, will you be able to remember all of them if the list extends to 50 words? Sakshi, will you be able to remember if the list extends to 50 words? Yeah. So now I will tell you, all of you will be able to remember all these words in the order, even if the list extends to, 50 words or whatever. Yeah. So this is how you can do it. Just close your eyes. Yeah. And listen to what I have to tell you. Okay. So there's this huge jungle, and in that jungle, there are gigantic elephants. Elephants, they have big ear and tusks. Tusks are so sharp. They are sharp like knife and they shine. Okay, they are so sharp when elephants go in the jungle, they cut the tree. And this tree, it falls on the sand. And in that sand, there's a name written, which is Nikhil. And suddenly there's this wave, huge wave that comes in, yeah, and that it wipes this name Nikhil from the sand. And then the camera zooms out, and you see this whole scene, the whole jungle is on planet Pluto. And in this planet Pluto, now you go around on the roads and you see everywhere there's a green light. And then this green light, there's a one green light, it's beaming onto center of the road. There is a cake. And on top of that cake, there is a tweeter. Okay? So, once you hear this story, will you be able to remember all these 10 words in its order? Yeah? Won't you? Okay. So I'll take that as yes, unless someone raises their hands to say no. Okay. So I'll take that as yes. Yeah. So this is the whole point. Okay. So I'll just go to the next. Okay. So this is the principles of mnemonics. Whatever you want to remember, okay, you can make it vivid. Yeah, you make it vivid, picturize them. Number one, you can make a story out of it so that you can link everything together. Okay, you can make it vivid, colorful, yeah, odd, different, funny, yeah, anything that stands out. Okay, yeah, you relate them with the senses, in terms of colors, in terms of sound, in terms of taste. Yeah, use all the senses so that you can remember better. Okay, then aggregate, okay, size, yeah, exaggerate the size, as in, like I said, big ears, right? And add some movement, like I added camera movement so that it tells you something. So add movement, okay, if possible add humor, even better. Yeah, so when you do all this, yeah, and of course avoid unpleasant things if you don't like it, because what our brain does is, if you don't like something, in our sleep, it tries to eliminate that from our memory. So better keep it pleasant, keep it good, so that your brain says that, oh, this is good, I want to keep this, and then you remember it even better, right? So these are the mnemonic principles, how our brain would like to keep memory, like stories make it outstanding. Okay, so imagination is important, association, linking is important. So imagine something that, personal. Yeah, so if you like Avengers, add those characters in that story. Feelings, add different feelings, associate them, associate as in, keep it. So what I did was, on the road, at the center of the road, I kept a cake. Okay, so that's an association. Yeah. Knife. So elephant had tusks sharp as knives. So elephant and knife got associated. So you merge them together, somehow match them together, create a relationship so that you can remember them better. Okay, and keep it location, make it, the place, associate them with the place, keep it in the place, then move it to other place, move it from one place to other, keep the transitions smooth, and then you will be able to remember better. Okay, so 9 types of mnemonics. So this is the principle, yeah, and you must have used a lot of them already, because a lot of teachers do encourage people to remember, the pupils to remember things with the mnemonics already. Okay, but if you can use this principle, you can create your mnemonics yourself. Yeah, and this is what the next class is going to be about, where we will be able to learn how to create a chart like this. Okay, and you can actually, just this piece of paper, you'll be able to, with the help of mnemonics and graphic charts, you can memorize the entire chapter. Okay, I will tell you how you can do that towards the end. Yeah, but let's understand mnemonics first. Okay, so colors of rainbow. Yeah, so Bibgoir is a lot of people use, but Roy G. Biv is also a mnemonic. It's a name, and at the same time, it helps you remember. Okay, what are the colors in rainbow? So Roy G. Biv. Yeah, that's how you can remember. Okay, then this is basically how you can remember what is the order. Okay, what is the order in which the measurement goes, right? So milli, centi, deci, unit, deca, hecta, kilo. Okay, so basically this is how you can remember. King Hussein doesn't usually drink cold milk. That's how you can remember the order. Okay, so milli, 10 milli becomes centi, 10 centi becomes deca, 10 deca becomes, whatever that unit is. It could be meter, it could be grams. Yeah, at 10 units becomes deca, 10 deca becomes hecta, 10 hecta becomes kilo. So that's a mnemonic for you. King Hussein doesn't usually drink cold water. Now, these are typically used, but what you can do is you can create your own. What is personal to you? Yeah, then you will remember even better. Okay, so these are word mnemonics. Then spelling mnemonics. So geography. How do you spell geography? You can break it down to a sentence so that you can remember. George Edward Old Grandma rode a pig home yesterday, right? So that's how you can, try to remember spellings. Yeah. Now, I had my mnemonics. I had a big challenge in terms of remembering. Uh, just a second, I'll keep myself in spotlight. That way it will appear in recording. Okay. So I had a lot of these mnemonics when I was growing up. I had big challenge in terms of remembering spellings. Okay, and one of the things that I did was I use phonetic words so that I can remember the spellings. Okay, so you can use that also. So there are rhyme mnemonics. Okay, so what is the difference between cyanate and cyanide? Okay, I ate is cyanate, I died is cyanide. Cyanide, if you eat, you die. Okay, cyanate you can eat. So you can create this rhythm. Yeah, I ate, cyanate I ate, cyanide I died. Then the number of days. So a lot of people use this, January, February. Okay, so there's another rhyme you can use. 30 days has September, April, June, November. All the rest have 31, except February, dear son, it's 28, and that is fine. But in leap year, it has 29. So that's basically you can create some kind of rhyme, and at times you can create songs. So like, this is one of the ways you can try to remember something that you would like to remember.
In the sun, I'm a burning ball of fire. I'm very big indeed. Life on earth depends on me. I am the sun. I am Mercury.
Okay, so basically that was just an example. You can create these kind of things. Then there's a connection mnemonic. So sometimes you don't remember what is longitude, latitude. Okay, so there is an N in longitude. Okay, that is north. Yeah, and in north. So longitude, it goes to north, so it goes up, so that is straight. Yeah, so that's how you can remember. The first part of the word latitude sounds like flat. Lat, flat. Okay, so that's how you can remember longitude, latitude. Make a connection of that word with something that gives you, like horizontal. What is horizontal? Vertical. Sometimes, when you're not used to it, it can get confusing. So horizontal, I connect with horizon. Okay, so horizon, and then I know it's horizontal. Okay. So that's the connection mnemonics. Okay. Then image mnemonics. Okay. To remember, you can basically make a diagram. So something like bat. Yeah. So this particular thing where you want to remember the three words, which is basically has a short form bat. Okay. You can just draw a bat, so it's bat, and then you can expand to its full form, whatever you want to make it to. Okay. Then to remember, yeah. So that's basically you decide what image you can remember based on the short form that you have created. Like one of the things that we created when I was creating this chart was nitro car plays rap. because there was a rap in it. Yeah, and so we draw a car with nitro in it, and basically nitro is basically nitrogen cycle. So within nitrogen cycle there is rap. There's a root and animals and peas for plants. Okay, so there was that short form coming up. So now we can draw a car that has a nitro in it. It becomes outstanding thing for us, and that's all. That's why we are able to remember. Okay. Then more modular note organizer. Okay, that means so. Then we come to graphic organizers. Okay, so these were 9 types of mnemonics, and I would say you can use what is convenient for you. Use it for remembering things which are difficult for you. Because what happens is within a chapter, if you create too many mnemonics, then what can happen is there is so much of overhead of mnemonics, okay, that you will be able to, you might get confused with too many mnemonics. So use it specifically for something that you find difficult to remember. Okay, sometimes there's a definition and then, you can just remember it easily. So don't waste time. Okay, use it specifically for something that's difficult. Then graphic organizers, and there are many types of graphic organizers with which you can make notes. Okay, so anything that is time dependent, use circle and make notes accordingly. Okay, so if something is happening at 12 o'clock, something is happening at 3 o'clock, okay, or if there is an orderly thing, yeah, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can just make a circle and you can just write things in this order. Okay, what happens when you make a note with graphic representation, you can remember it better. Yeah, then there's a flow chart where you know that there's a first step, there's a second step, there's a third step, like steps in agriculture. Okay, so there is plowing, sowing, then there's manure, pesticides, harvest, irrigation. There's an order to it. So you use that to show an order. Okay. Similarly, there's something called to show progress. Yeah, you can make a ladder type chart. Okay, where the first step is at the bottom, but then as you go ahead, you can see things are getting progressed, right? And you can also write an number to it so that you know that this is going ahead. Yeah, so there's a chart, ladder chart you can use to have a display progress. Now there are 2 ways in which you can answer long questions. Okay, and here's what you can do. You can either make a chart which is sensory chart. So you can say how it is, how it looks, how it sounds, how it is for touch, how it tastes, how it smells. Yeah, so typically when you have to answer long questions, yeah, it can get overwhelming. You don't know the order, but what you can do is you can just try to answer all these 5 questions, and you will be able to write at least 5 lines, and then within one of them you can write 2, 3 lines. Your answer becomes really big. Yeah, sometimes if one of the item is not relevant, but you can still write something in how it tastes. Yeah, you can simply write, I'm not sure how it tastes, but that still shows as a line, and it's one of the ways the examiner knows that you're trying to attempt it. Okay, now there's a 5W. You can try doing this. Yeah, so long answers. Okay, yeah, say describe preparation of soil. Yeah, so what is it? It is a process where you turn the soil upside down, okay, so that it gets air. Yeah. So that's what it is. Okay. Who does it? Yeah. So this is done by farmer. Okay. Before. Why does they do it? So that the nutrition rich soil comes up. Yeah. So that the soil gets oxygen. There are a number of reasons. So in fact, there are around 4 statements you can write in this why. When you do it. So this is the first step in agriculture, where before you sow. So when you do it, that you can write, and where you do it. This is done on the soil where you want to grow the crop. Okay, this is done on the field where you want to grow the crop. Yeah. So when I told you just describe what is, so we just have 10 minutes now. I'm going to go really fast. Okay. So you can just answer these 5 questions and suddenly you have a big answer. You have at least 5 statements. And if you can write more, even better. Okay. But you don't get overwhelmed what to write. How do I form a sentence? Yeah. That's a helpful chart you can use. Okay. Then you can write any topic in this format, okay, which is very close to what we will learn in terms of the chart, mind map. Okay. So you can write, you can make it a hierarchical chart. Okay, or topic divided into subtopic, your topic divided into subtopic. Okay. So again, you can have something like what the goal you want to do, and there's a reason to it, why you want to do it, reason to why you want to do it. Then there's a fact and explanation you can give. This is another chart you can do. Yeah. I would say you don't really need to worry about these charts if you don't feel that, wow, how am I going to use it. You have to actually think other way, as in, if you want to write an answer, and if you think this chart is useful, then use it. Don't use the chart just because it looks good. Use the chart where you find, yes, I can use this, and that's why I'm going to use it. Okay. And earlier, these 2 charts, so topic and the hierarchy chart, okay, cluster hierarchy, cluster web. Yeah, these charts we will see in more detail once we start talking about mind map. Yeah. Okay. Now, mind map. So what I'm going to do is, it is going to take some time to explain mind map. So mind map is very much related to, this chart that I showed you in the beginning. And I'm calling this as a pick chart. Okay. So mnemonics and mind map, and of course, all the graphic notes that we talked about. Okay. Using that, we are going to make this chart, which will contain the whole chapter. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll hold the mind map, and this we will cover this in our next session, so that we can do quick Q&A today. Okay, before we do that, I'm just going to show you. So this is the chapter, okay, where you start with the chapter name, and then mnemonic for that chapter. Okay, so there's a mnemonic for that chapter. Yeah. Why I have fold, there's a reason to it. Okay. And then I open it, then I get another mnemonic for all the sections of that chapter. Okay. So there you have it. Then there is a relationship of each of these mnemonic to the section, okay, in terms of mnemonics only. So there's a relationship of mnemonics with mnemonics. Yeah. And then the whole chapter, okay, each of this topic is described in a graphic chart. It's more like a mind map. Yeah. And each of the topic, okay, they have, it's described in mind map. Yeah. And the way you fold it, you basically you are able to mentally relate mnemonics to the entire chapter. Yeah. How we do that, I'm going to explain the entire process. This is class 8 standard, CBSE first chapter. Basically, it's on agriculture, yeah, crop production. And just to tell you what example we will be using, and we'll do that in next the session. So whatever we have learned today, you have any questions I can answer? You can type in your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Any questions? No questions. Okay, so quickly, my name is Prashant. I'm a parenting coach. I do research in education also. These days, I'm basically working on memorizing techniques. So, we have these parenting sessions every Saturday, and these days we are doing memorizing and grasping. We have a website called inspiredparenting.in. You can find all our resources there, and basically I put all my recordings of the sessions in on YouTube. So inspiredparenting.in, you will be able to find a YouTube link. So do visit and find anything that's interesting. You can write back to me. Next session, we will, as I said, we will be looking at how you can make an entire chapter in this chart, which I'm calling it PIC chart, okay, which is a combination of mnemonics and mind maps. We'll be taking one example and making this chart in our next session. Okay. After that, we will be looking at a tool called Anki, which is used for, yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is a tool called Anki on my screen, which is used for flash as a flashcard. So what is it? It basically has a question, yeah, on top. Okay, and then you try to remember that, and then there's an answer. Okay, you can make these cards, and then you can basically suggest, yes, I want to do this again. It gives you next question. Okay, and then you try to answer that, and if you can answer, good, you move ahead. If you can't answer, then it will give it present it back to you. So I'm going to talk about this particular tool, how you can use the technique, the flashcard technique, so that you can have memory that will help you score more than 95%. I'm very sure a lot of medical students in USA use this technique because they have to memorize a lot of things. Yeah, so the same technique can be used for any competitive exams you would appear, and it'll help you score definitely more than 95%. And it's a wonderful tool. Yeah, this is how you can create card. Basically, there's a question, there's an answer, yeah, and you can put pictures in it. You can do the formatting and everything. We'll talk about this tool later on, most likely next to next session. Yeah, so next session we'll be talking about pictures. Okay, so thank you very much for joining in. I think we'll see you all next Saturday. Yeah, thank you very much. See you next Saturday. Bye.